On my high school team, we had 5 guys make the NBA.
We had the county rocking.
It's the mecca of basketball.
There are those who come before us, upon whose shoulders we stand.
It's nothing that you can do to stop that competitive edge.
It's just in the water.
2020 Hall of Fame class, KG, Kobe, Tim Duncan. Tell me some of your memories and what your thoughts of that elite group.
Man, well, for me, obviously, especially watching this Jordan documentary and hearing people like around you guys' age and older, like how my dad talked about Jordan, really made me realize like that was Kobe for me. Like Kobe was my Jordan, and he was my favorite player.
Right.
He was the reason I started playing basketball. Like, I had all the jerseys, all the shoes. I wanted to be just like him. So, Kobe was Jordan for me, and Kevin Garnett was my dad's favorite player. So I remember anytime the Celtics played the Suns and him and Amari Stoudemire matched up, like my pops would call me like, "Yo, turn on TV. There's two animals playing against each other."
Straight
up. KG was his man, and Amari Stoudemire was a gangster too.
You got to spend time with Kobe and talk to him and help work on your game. Talk to us a little bit about that, because I think that's amazing.
Yeah, it was. I had met Kobe a couple times growing up. My dad's best friend, Larry Hughes. So when Larry played on Cleveland, one time for my birthday, like 4th grade, I went to when they played the Lakers. I took a picture with Kobe then. I met him at the ESPYs when I was in college. And then after my rookie year, during my rookie year in the playoffs, that's when he started doing a detail thing. And I remember he did one on me in the playoffs. And he texted me. He was like, keep doing your thing. I'm watching, after the season, hit me up anytime you're in LA, we get some work together. I was like, I dropped my phone. I couldn't believe it.
Right.
So I remember the first day that summer I got to LA, as soon as I landed, I texted him. I was like, yo, I'm in LA for a couple weeks. I know you're probably busy, but if you got any time, I'll let it get in the gym. I remember he ain't text me back for like 4 days. Like, it wasn't 4 days by him texting me. And as soon as he texted me, I texted him like 20 seconds back. Like, I responded fast as shit. And then, we met like twice before we actually worked out. Like, I went to his office, and he showed me around when he was, writing books and stuff like that. And then we got to work out. So it was like, that was a dream come true for me.
Tell us a little bit about what those workouts were like and what you took away, because like we all know, his attention to detail is second to none. My kids were lucky enough to work out with him for their little 10th birthday surprise, but he was putting them through some real NBA footwork, pivot, attention to detail. How precise was he, and what did you take away from those workouts with him?
Yeah, he a lot of attention to detail. It wasn't really anything that I couldn't do. It was, a bunch of moves that he seen me do and that he did, and it was all like little things to think about, and that's what I really took from it. Was like the little things like that he would think about that I really never heard anybody else, like how they approach the game, or maybe like some of the greats did, but for him to give me some of that knowledge right then and there, and just the little things and on a jab step, and creating separation and getting this little bit of space. And it was like I was just like a kid in a candy store. I kept like talking to myself like, man, I'm working out with Kobe. Like I couldn't believe it at the time.
That's dope. In 2019, you signed with Jordan. Jack used to be a Jordan brand. They cut his boxes off though. Tell me how that situation came about and how excited you were for that opportunity.
No, I was. My agent started working on it like in the playoffs my second year, so last year. And then when it finally came about, when we finally negotiated and figured everything out, I was on board. I was excited, and we took a trip. The Jordan brand family took a trip to Monte Carlo and Paris this summer. And that was kind of like my introduction to Jordan Brand, to the world, and meeting all the guys. And first time I really sat down and talked to MJ. I got a funny story. We was in Paris, and I met MJ earlier this morning to the introduction, and like I did a bunch of media, and then that night we had a dinner. So it was like Melo was there, Blake was there, Russ, Spike Lee, like everybody was there. So I remember I'm still nervous, right? So I walk in, MJ sitting down, his wife next to him, and Spike next to her. So I walk in, and I was like, I'm gonna go say what's up to him before I sit down. So I'm like, I talked to him earlier, like we had like a whole conversation, like I kind of knew him. But then I walk over to him, and like my hands start sweating. And I was like, what's up, Mike? And when I went to go shake his hand, I knocked over his wine glass on the table, and it broke. And I was like, I was like, let me get a napkin. Let me help you out. He was like, young fella, it's cool, it's good, you all right? I turned around like, yo, I'm tripping.
The fuck did I just
MJ,
Yo,
man.
that's dope. Speaking of Mike, what are your thoughts being able to see? Because you were young, very young. You know, when Mike was making his run, me and Jack have loved reminiscing and kind of seeing, because Mike was the one superstar for us that we never really got to see the other side of. We saw MJ, the hooper, and then we see the businessman, but we didn't really get to see the personable side of him. What have you been able to take away from seeing The Last Dance?
It's been incredible. You know, because I was born in '98, so I never saw MJ play live. Really, maybe as last year in like '03 when I was like 4 or 5. I don't really remember much, but you know, growing up, my dad, like, it was all MJ highlights. He was like, I know you love Kobe, but Kobe got all this from Mike. I used to watch. He used to show me Mike highlights all the time. So I always understood, like, no, Mike the greatest, like, he the GOAT for a reason. But just like actually, you know, watching it in real time now, and this documentary has been, I love this so far. I can't wait till next Sunday.
Yeah,
Straight up.
Word.
There's something about how this place forms a different kind of person.
On my high school team, we had 5 guys make the NBA.
We had the county rocking.
You mentioned Prince George's County. People know what it's about. It's the mecca of basketball.
There are those who come before us, upon whose shoulders we stand.
Being from this area, you have to have tough skin.
The gym became his sanctuary.
PG County guys provide buckets for America.
Prince George packs a lot of power, a lot of character.
It's nothing that you can do to stop that competitive edge.
We're pushing the community and the culture forward. It's just in the water.
This life was all I ever wanted.
I'm not leaving. Not yet.
I was hoping you'd say that.
We gotta hit the streets, make some money.
People like us must destroy people like him. Buckle up.
Get Showtime free at SHOWTIME.com.